Skinny Hardaway Southern T, back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor, y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, do your boy solid. Hit that thumbs up for your boy when you roll on in. If this your first time, do your boy solid. Don't make it your last time. Hit that subscription button there as well. We on the road to 4,000 subscriptions. Today we're here with the fight breakdown and prediction between Savanna Marshall and Franchon Cruz. This is a super middleweight, undisputed title bout. The current champion, Franchon Cruz, is taking on challenger Savanna Marshall. Both these fighters, right, are probably most known from their battles with the GOAT, Clarissa Shields, who is the current two-division undisputed champion right now. Clarissa Shields, in her last fight, faced off against Savanna Marshall. She was victorious. She won that fight about 10-2, 11-1, something like that, unanimous decision win. And Franchon Cruz was Clarissa Shields' first fight of her storied career, right? So you got the last person that Clarissa Shields fought, and then you got the first person that Clarissa Shields fought, and Savanna Marshall, and then Franchon Cruz. Again, like I stated earlier, this fight is for undisputed, so it is undisputed weekend. Savanna Marshall is getting her second shot at becoming undisputed. She got her first shot versus Clarissa Shields, and Franchon Cruz is defending her undisputed titles in which she won from Chantel Sandarus, right? But we got a super middleweight bout, Franchon Cruz versus Savanna Marshall. We about to get into the breakdown and prediction portion of the fight. I'm headed over to the Box Rex right now. But this fight, is this weekend. It's a lot of implications on this fight, right? The build up to this fight, the winner of this fight, basically is going to be rematching Clarissa Shields again for undisputed. But this time it's going to be a double undisputed, right? Franchon Cruz is the undisputed champion. Savanna Marshall is facing Franchon Cruz to become the undisputed champion. And the lead up to this fight, all the talks have been Savanna Marshall, versus Clarissa Shields 2. They're trying to build their fight. Up over there, and they're trying to build their rematch up over there in the UK, right? And then you got Franchon Cruz on this side, who's saying that she's going to upset the apple cart. It's going to be a whole lot of upset people. You know what I mean? Because she's about to walk through Savanna Marshall, right? So we got Franchon Cruz. We got Franchon Cruz facing off against Savanna Marshall. I'm pulling these box recs up. Now so we can go and get to the nitty gritty. Let me say what's up to the people that's in the building. Shout out my guy DS. Appreciate you sliding through this thing, DS. Glad you could make it. Shout out my guy Ray Buck. What's good, Ray? Appreciate you sliding through. And I see we got a couple folks, just sitting. We got a couple folks just sitting in the building. Shout out to y'all good people too. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy when you roll on in. But undisputed fight this weekend. We about to go and get to it. I'm bringing up that boss race now. We gonna start with Savanna Marshall. Savanna the silent assassin Marshall, right? AB the IT, what's good, AB? Appreciate you sliding through. Y'all could hit that thumbs up for your boy. But we got Savanna Marshall, 12-1, 32 years old. I didn't know Savanna Marshall was that old. We got Savanna Marshall, 12-1, 32 years old, 5'11" and a half. Right? She's taking on Franchon Cruz, who is 8-1 with 2 KOs and stands 5'8". Franchon Cruz has a 72-inch arm reach, and they don't have Savanna Marshall's arm reach listed on the box rec. Right? They do that sometimes. But we got Franchon Cruz, right? In her last fight, I mentioned earlier, she was victorious over Ellen Sandarus. Before that, she was victorious over Ashley Carey. And before that one, the story about, Angelina Draminez, the lady who was, transitioning into being the man, right? She was taking testosterone, and Franchon Cruz ended up losing that fight in the ring. I think she won, right? But the judges voted, that she lost in the ring, so she ended up losing that fight. But it got overturned. because Jimenez was taking steroids. She was taking testosterone steroids, right, to build up muscle. So basically, Franchon Cruz was fighting the man in that fight. But Franchon Cruz only has one loss that I mentioned earlier, and that was in her very first fight of her career, and that was versus Clarissa Shields. She's taking on Savanna Marshall, again 12-1. Savanna Marshall's last fight was versus Clarissa Shields. Savanna Marshall wasn't victorious in the fight versus Clarissa Shields. In the build up to that fight, they built that fight up as the two best women in boxing. You know what I mean, going toe to toe. It ended up being something different when it actually played out. Clarissa Shields showed that she was on a different level from Savanna Marshall, but this fight with Franchon Cruz and Savanna Marshall did show me something in that Clarissa Shields fight, right? Before that Clarissa Shields fight, if you had told me, I would have said that Savanna Marshall has no shot of competing with Franchon Cruz, right? But with Franchon Cruz's last fight and Savanna Marshall's last fight, Savanna Marshall showed me that she does belong, right? And I am giving her a shot to win this fight. And I am giving her a shot to win this fight versus Franchon Cruz. Franchon Cruz is she's a brawler, kind of a banger, right? She has an active jab, but Franchon Cruz, she goes in there and she wants to put the hurt on you. Savanna Marshall is more of a knockout artist right now. The people she knocked out haven't been on her level or high up, right? But you gotta consider her a knockout artist. 12 fights, 10 KOs, right? She does have some power. Didn't really get to display it against Clarissa Shields. We all know it's hard to hit her, but she does have some power. Both these ladies have decent power, right? If we go on per boxing, the better per boxer, I would probably say it's about tit for tat, maybe even, right? I think this fight is going to come down to like the stamina, right? I think it's going to come down to who can last longer, right? Which fighter can outlast the other fighter. Franchon Cruz problems in her fight is she comes on really strong. She does really well at the beginning, but as the fight goes on, she kind of tends to tail off the back end a little bit, right? She tends to tail off. The thing that Savanna Marshall showed in her fight is that her stamina and that her durability is real. In that Clarissa Shields fight, she was able to take a lot of damage, and she was able to go the distance with Clarissa, and she was even able to give Clarissa a little bit back towards the end of that fight, because it looked like Clarissa Shields may have gotten just a little tired in that fight, and it caused Savanna Marshall, and it helped Savanna Marshall, gain traction in it. So I think they're about the same when it comes to talent level, right? What's good, Sari? Appreciate you sliding through. Y'all hit that thumbs up. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy. I think they're about the same as far as the talent level go, right? I think this fight is going to come down to who comes in better shape, who is ready and willing to put it, all on the line for the whole 10 rounds, right? If you're asking me, the power edge, I think the power edge is about tit for tat. I think the boxing edge is about tit for tat, right? I think the boxing edge is about tit for tat. I believe in this fight, it's coming down to the physical condition of this fight, the mental preparation for this fight. I think it's going to be an outlast you kind of fight. That's what I'm thinking. Can Franchon Cruz's gas tank hold up to the durability of Savanna Marshall's? You know what I mean? Gas tank. If you're asking me, I think she will be able to, get through this fight. I think she learned a lot from that Celarus fight. She came out in that Celarus fight. She laid it all on the line early, and Celarus started to build on her towards the back end of the fight. I think that Savanna Marshall is a bigger puncher than Celarus, right? So if Franchon Cruz gets a little tired in this fight, right, Savanna Marshall most definitely could take advantage of it. If you had asked me about this fight a year ago, right, I would have said Franchon Cruz wins easily. But since their last fight, Franchon Cruz last fight, Savanna Marshall last fight, I think this fight is more 50-50. You know what I mean? These days, I do think this fight is more of a 50-50 fight. You know what I mean? But I do think Franchon Cruz will win this fight if her gas tank can hold up. You know what I mean? She's a very active fighter. I seen Savanna Marshall kind of get frozen up a little bit, with those Clarissa Shields punches. Franchon Cruz has that same kind of overwhelming activity that Clarissa Shields has that I could see a problem, right? But It can also get dangerous for Franchon if she gasses out in this fight. If she gasses out in this fight, Savanna Marshall most definitely will be walking away with the victory in this fight. My prediction for this fight is I'm going to go with the underdog. I'm going with the upset victory, right? I'm not going with a knockout. I'm not going with a knockout. I'm not going with a knockout in this fight. I'm going Franchon Cruz to win this fight by decision. It's going to be a close fight. If you go bet this fight, I would say bet it just to go the distance. Don't get no safer, don't get no easier. Solid bet. But I'm thinking Franchon Cruz, and I'm thinking Franchon Cruz by points decision. Franchon Cruz point decision is worth a pretty little penny. You know what I mean? Right now. But that's the direction that I'm leaning. I'm leaning Franchon Cruz by points decision. As long as Franchon Cruz, can stay active and she could not gas out, I think she takes this fight from Savanna Marshall. Right, Savanna Marshall is a bit of a big favorite in this fight, so I'm going underdog here. I see a place where we might be able to win, so we might be able to catch one. Right now, I will say that public perception. I think the judges, the media, and the platform. Right, I think that they all want Savanna Marshall to win. That's the person that they're pushing. Both these fighters are signed to Eddie Hearn in the zone, but we all know that that's Savanna Marshall's homeland, right? So I do think that maybe the people want Savanna to win, right? But I do think Franchon will be victorious. Franchon Cruz split decision win over Savanna Marshall. I think it's gonna be a tough fight. I think Franchon Cruz will be able to pull it out. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna keep y'all here too long with this particular EP. I will be back for another EP in just a second. Greatly appreciate y'all folks sliding through. We got Franchon Cruz winning by split decision this weekend over Savanna Marshall. It's getting harder way Southern T. This ain't the past, this ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rock it. And I'm out. Love.